Welcome to Wingman's Hangar, episode 25. I'm Eric Wingman Peterson.
You are.
I am.
And I'm Rob Descendent Irving.
You are.
Indeed.
Indeed. We want to thank our new backers. Oh, by the way, if you're new to the show, this is kind of an inside look at what went on Descent Underground with Descendent Studios. Each week, we give you an inside look at what went on in the dev community, and sometimes in the community itself, for you guys out there, in the community, while we're making this game Descent Underground. Lots of stuff is happening, so let's get right to it. But before we get to it, let's thank our new backers and those who upgraded this week. Thank you guys very much. Isn't that cool?
Welcome aboard.
I love seeing all that stuff. That's cool. Special thanks to Fluffball and Vex Workmaster for your exceptional support. Thank you guys very much. And also welcome to our new Undergrounders. Ooh, I think that's Agent Star Orange, Fluffball, and Jared. Thank you guys very much. You are now going to be in the Underground. They'll be playing this game very soon.
Welcome to the Underground. And hey, they'll be getting a design meeting next week.
We are. We're streaming we're streaming for the Undergrounders next week. We are streaming our live design meeting. Do we know what that topic is yet?
We have no idea.
We do not know that topic yet. We will by the time we start streaming
that we would have played it this
It's
far
not
in
like we
advance.
don't have a laundry list of topics to discuss on design-wise. I mean,
No
this guy's probably
kidding.
we're all pretty busy, but I got to think you've got a lot on your plate right now. And you know, it's funny because every time we get into the scrums in the morning, you're like, what I didn't get to work on that yesterday because I worked on this, you know. It's just all coming together. But some of the design stuff we've got coming up for you guys, I think you're really going to like. So coming up today, we have Week in Review, including our studio snapshot. This week's MVP, or Most Valuable Post. We have a Build-A-Bot update, and of course, we have forum feedback with your questions. Some good questions this week. I've read them all over.
I bet there aren't any videos.
There's no videos yet. There's no Wing Noob this week.
No Wing Noob.
There might be a Wing Noob. I haven't. I saw him earlier in the mirror. he was wanting to. He's like, welcome on to the show. Anyway, this week at Descendent Studios, we got the advisory board. They got their third build, so we're getting very, very close to getting the Proving Grounds. The two things holding us back from the Proving Grounds right now are client-side prediction code with the server.
That's a big one.
It's a big one, but it's really getting there. Jason's doing an excellent job of that. And the other one is matchmaking. Right now, the way the map works is you join in and just everybody joins that one match. And so if we don't want to be framed, like one frame a second like Eve does, with 100 people in a tiny map, right? God, could you imagine the Mega Missile? 87 kills. So it's like we have to have matchmaking and then server replication to where we'll make that happen. And we're not too far away from that. They're both being worked on now. So yeah, it's really close. And when we get that out there, we can't wait to get that in the hands of the Proving Grounds member. If you want to become a member of the Proving Ground, the marketing side of the show, then join the Underground. The Undergrounders get Proving Grounds access. And right now, I think we got a few hundred of them. And so that's going to help us test how many servers we need, the server load. The Proving Grounds is going to go beyond what we're doing now. You'll get the game before anybody else now, but you'll also, every weapon we test, every new map we test, all that kind of stuff will go through there. In fact, right now on the advisory board, the frame rate is way better.
Good job, Pixley.
Good job, Pixley. Yeah. What was it? He turned off the not the occlusion, but what was the
tessellation on the walls?
Right. On the walls,
keeping it from occluding.
Was killing it. And we're such a fast-paced game. He really did make a difference and improved frame rate. And Jason's got us up on DirectX 12 too.
Fast,
dude, his frame rate has gone from on a Titan X from 90 to well over 130, 140 frames a second. And of course, not everybody has a Titan X, but it does also mean that the lower spec cards will also be able to handle. I think our low end right now is a 560. NVIDIA 560 is what we'd like people to have and above, and that's what we're aiming for. And Tyler is doing we've got customizable key bindings in there now, and now he's doing customizable graphics support where you can change your graphic settings and improve your performance. So that's all stuff we have to have also before we go to Proving Grounds, because not everybody has a liquid-cooled 79-core machine out there. Also, there are 3 maps in the build right now, and they all show a variety of completion. We have, which map do we have?
We have Mobius, which is the
what?
gray box map, basically.
It's a gray box, and that's
new.
And we test. Tell them what we do. How do maps work for us?
We slapped the map together and put basic gameplay elements. It was fast.
Yeah, that's true.
It's quick.
Yeah.
Put basic gameplay elements in it. Doors, power-ups, starting points.
Yeah.
Then we jump in and play it right away.
Yeah, and is it fun? We find out if it's fun.
It's the fun test, and then you tweak if you need to, and go from there.
Yeah, like when we could all fly out of Mobius. Remember, we took the mining blocks out and we could all just go outside.
No, that's Valor.
You're right. So what a great segue.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of Valor,
Valor's our second map.
Valor's the second map, Valor 2, and it's
just Valor now.
Is it just Valor?
We renamed all the maps.
Okay, cool. So and it is it's a little it's in set dressing stage. That's like after Gray Box it goes to set dressing.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Matt did a bang up job on texturing it. We're getting some doors. That's all we're missing.
Yep.
But it plays very nicely, and the Mega Death Trap is quite entertaining.
I love that. That's a controversial subject around here. The Mega Death Trap. There's a Mega Missile hidden in the level.
It's not very hidden.
It's not really hidden, but it's to get. There's only one way in to get to it, and it seems to be a focal point of the discussion.
You get killed a lot if you go after the Mega Missile.
You do. It's a risk reward, total risk reward, and it's doing it. It's as designed. And then of course we have
Apophis.
And
Apophis is our most complete map. It's basically game ready.
tweaking from this point on.
Yeah, there's a little tweaking going on still occasionally, but for the most part, it is game ready.
And we might untangle those one sections at some point.
At some point. Yeah.
But right now,
No,
that's
it's
the map we
playable.
showed at RTX, and that's the one people have played the most. And so the advisory board is playing all 3 maps actually right now, and we had a big session
Indeed.
on Saturday.
We did.
You and I brought Winglet in here, and we all played Saturday, and we had Tyler and Phil
online.
and tons of the advisory board. It was we had like I think 10 or 12 people on the map, and it was
Quite the frag fest.
Kaji showed up from Germany,
Yeah.
and he said that his frame rate was pretty good, so not so much lag. You know, right now we have one server, and it's in Iowa. So Iowa. It's like
Goodness.
equidistance, but it's getting good frame rate, and apparently in Germany it was still playable. So really good. But we'll
That's
have
good to know.
servers. We will have servers in the EU too. So, anyway, so that's what's going on. And we've added we're starting to add new game types. We've got Anarchy in there, and then we're gonna have Team Anarchy, which is obviously a fairly simple.
Coming soon.
But the Reactor Core has been added
Yes,
to Apophis.
the core is there.
The core.
The
the
play-
core.
the gameplay
It's not
is
the
not
reactor.
there.
The gameplay's not there, but
The reactor core.
it's just the core, right? And that's going to be the new capture the core game type. And we're not sure. Oh yeah, there you go. There it is, right there.
There it is. Looky there.
There you go. That's kind of the stand or the beginning of the stand for what it ends up being on. It kind of looks like a diamond on some prongs there. And
It's a little shorter now.
the electricity, the lightning that's going up there and illuminating it will be going around it, and based on whichever team owns it, that will change the team's color.
So does the lighting on the ball
Yeah, so does the
itself.
lighting on the ball. It changes, and so, and it's going to be a team-based, scoring game that you have to own it for a certain amount of time or get enough points to win. So that's coming too. So you know what time it is? Let's take a look at what else went around the studio with this week's Studio Snapshot.
One of our next levels, it's this very metallic environment, very boxy, very square, very true to Dracona's original level in that it is boxy, squarish and stuff, but it's like dark and moody and also in the future.
Where the client will move you, send it to the server, and multiple moves will go this way. The server will approve them, but the client assumes you can move there. And then when the messages come back from the server, they're usually approvals, but occasionally if the mover server says no, then it will kind of calculate where your ship was, if it blocked, and what your further moves would have done to you then, to put you as close as to where you would have ended up as possible, so there's a minimum amount, to minimize the amount of discrepancy between where your client thought it was and where it actually ended up after.
Before we mess with it, let's get them all in and get people playing it.
Yeah, you can even see front on the Typhoon now.
Mega Missile! Oh, that's so much better. That did look better coming out there like that.
It is very glowy now, though.
Yeah, we may need to tone down the
Yeah, we have to see if we can detronify them a little bit.
So what is that, Rob?
That's the core. See,
Why
that's the
does-
core, and it's got lightning all around it. Are we gonna record that for our sound effects? Quick, grab the mic. That is our core.
Cool. And you finally configure our graphic settings in the game itself. Resolution, screen mode, which is like full screen, borderless windowed, and then proper windowed mode. And we have a bunch of different graphics options. Motion blur, which I hate. Why is that turned to high? Off. Lens flare, which I also hate. Off.
Always cool. Nice of Jason to show the prediction. That's pretty important stuff because for a while you had to tell the server you were going to move, and the server had to say, okay, I'm letting you move, and then it would show back on your machine, which was causing severe lag on some things.
It
But
could have some sluggishness.
we knew that was going to happen, and that's the way it's going now. But that's pretty cool. Also nice for you to show off the core and the map, although we haven't had the colors change, anything like that.
Yeah.
And Pixley, even though he hates that, Pixley has like his own little fan club these days.
He does.
There's some commentary about the Pix on your Design Underground.
There is.
The Pix. Somebody wants to, I don't know, get to know the Pix a little better, I guess. That's pretty cool.
If he's of the correct
So if you
age.
want to date Pix, send into the forums. No pics are necessary to meet the Pix. He's not going to like when I do that.
No, he is not.
All right, let's talk about the new guns then. Speaking of Pixley and his guns. This right, we've come up with some concepts for both the Fusion and for the plasma cannon. Here are some of them that we looked at. That's kind of a plasma cannon one, and
It's more fusion-y.
Yeah, more fusion-y, right? And I think, let's see. So these are just a few. I believe the ones we've chosen were going back to that, Mike, because we got us on there now. If we could go back and look at that. Red camera 1, Jared. Okay, I think we've chosen number 3 for the plasma. And number 8 or 8 for the fusion. And those will be built out coming up right now, right? Good job, Kaji, for doing that. Okay, red camera 2, Jared. Inside jokes, just having fun, poking fun at some old friends. And now, of course, it's Keith McCormick with this week's Most Valuable Post.
Welcome to Most Valuable Post, where we celebrate someone who's made a positive contribution to the Descent Underground community. This week, we celebrate somebody who noticed something very small on our website that could have been a big deal. And they helped us and worked with the team and got a thread going where people helped our web guys diagnose the problem and nail it down. So congratulations, Kamikaze Wombat. You're this week's most valuable poster. And both you and Custard are also getting Bug Smasher awards for your help on that thread. Speaking of other awards, we noticed that somebody else snuck into the MVP awarding system and handed out an award. And when we tracked it down, we'll see if you can guess who might have handed out that award. That's right, Wingman awarded a special MVP personally to Corinthar for that little bit of machinima. So congratulations, Corinthar. You're also a most valuable poster.
Congratulations, Kamikaze Wombat and Custard, who she apparently helped with some website formatting bug. That's pretty cool. And of course, there was an extra MVP this week that I couldn't resist giving. I didn't feel comfortable putting it out as an excellent MVP, but I did enjoy the actually really appreciated it. So, Mike, can you show what that MVP was about from Corinthar? Nice. Look at that. Right back at you, Corinthar. I salute you, sir. It's always nice to be remembered. We did some good work over there.
In honor of that, we should definitely not have Wingman this week.
I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
We have breaking news?
Breaking news? There's
Something
breaking
hot off the art presses.
It's hot off the art presses. Do tell.
It is concepts for our Vulcan cannon.
Oh, right. So we've done some concepts, but we've gone from beyond the concept stage now into actually making the gun itself. Look at that. That's it. That's what's going into the game right now.
That's pretty cool.
Very nice. Also Kaji.
Hot off the art presses.
Hot off the Kaji press. That doesn't sound right.
That does not sound right.
Might make Pixley jealous. Who knows? But it's getting silly.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mike.
getting silly. Yes.
Thanks. Yeah.
Suddenly,
This
out
is
of nowhere.
This is not the branding we're after. So thanks. Wait, actually it is. So thanks to Mike for bringing that off the presses. Thank you, Mike. And speaking of Mike, what time is it?
It's time for forum feedback.
Indeed. It's time for some new head.
It is.
We need more head, Mike, or less head, or something other than that head.
I'm sorry, I don't provide that service.
We're gonna. Yeah.
Not in your contract.
Not
huh?
in the contract. I don't blame you. Well, let's get right to forum feedback from Miggy. Will the esteemed, speaking of Mike, will the esteemed Alistair Sinclair Fitzsmithy make regular appearances in Wingman's Hangar.
I'm sure we can get him to step up and say hello.
But you know what? You've moved from where the set was before, so
Right.
we've got to find out, you know, how to integrate him. I think if it's Smithy on the road, maybe he replaces the weather wizard.
Oh wow, weekly weather wizard.
Yeah, the
Without
weekly
a status to
Fitz
Fitz
Smithy.
Smithy.
Something like that. We'll find some way. I hope he comes back. He's like it. So can you give us a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night?
You mean good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night.
Thank you. All right, that's cool. We always like Fitzsmithy. We need to add some characters to the show other than you and me. We need more Pixley. The girls out there want the
I
Pixley,
told you
man.
your co-host should be
I know.
Pixley, man.
I'm telling you.
He's got a following.
I know. From Azza, what dreams do you have for single-player campaign? Can we get George Del Hoyo to reprise his role as the Material Defender? Wow, that's a loaded question.
That's. I don't know about the second part of that one.
Yeah, so we're doing a prologue campaign to the game. We don't have enough to do a massive, epic, story-based campaign. At least not yet. So we are searching for some avenues for that. Material Defender, we don't own the rights to. That's still something we'd have to cut a deal with some of the older stakeholders.
We could still get him to play a part.
Yeah,
I mean,
it would
if
be
he's
fun
interested.
to do. Yeah, if he's interested and he wants to work for free, we'd be happy to do
He's
it.
really cheap.
Yeah. The rest of us are cheap, you know. So we would like to. We've got an epic story coming. We're not going to obviously give everything away because that sort of ruins the single-player campaign. It gives you the
really
reason.
planning the initial stages of it right now.
But think of it as a prequel and the setup to the first three, to how they got to the point where the drones had gone crazy and things like that. So that's all in the plans. But right now we're doing this in stages. So multiplayer, some single player, and then use the revenue generated from that to continue to build the bigger single player, the bigger multiplayer, and go from that. From that on. So we've got a plan. We're in stage 1 right now. In programmer speak, we're in stage 0. But we are in stage 1. I know. I
really
never
in stage
understand
one.
that. I know.
No, it makes sense.
I know, because whenever we do these scrums, this is scrum 0 or sprint 0. I'm like, why is it not 1? This is the first. Yeah, so we're on, I think, 2 right now, or 3, which would really be 4. Whatever. From Chirpy, on the keyboard, will Alt Strafe be available? What about weapon firing keys? Will all the keys be remappable?
The keys are already remappable.
Good
so
job,
that's good.
who?
That would be Tyler Pixley.
Tyler Pixley. He's got programmer art in there, and the
Resident
interface.
heartthrob.
Yeah, right. Well played. It's programmer art, and the way it flows is a little wonky, so we'll have to address that when we get a chance. But it does work.
Okay, Alt Strafe, Alt Strafe, we can make it possible. I mean, you could map it yourself in theory, but Alt Strafe does take away some of your abilities as far as being able to trichord, which is very important in playing a 60 OF game because it makes you go faster. Yeah, everything's already remappable. We're ready to go on that. So
Sweet. Well done. Ship it. From Noam Loop, an undergrounder. Is there a realistic chance for a compatible, graphically toned down version of Descent Underground that could run on Android-based mobile VR glasses like Glodlow? Glodlow. What a terrible name by them, but Glodlow. So, graphically toned down version of Descent. Obviously, we already.
yeah, but that would have to be really toned down, probably. We'll have to see. I mean, it's not currently on our radar, but it doesn't mean it won't.
But you're not going to need a liquid cooled $10,000 rig either to run our game. I mean, we already have graphic settings. We'll have, even when we go early access, it'll be low, medium, and high. Even those settings will be standard. So people with decent rigs will be able to play our game. We don't want to go to the, there's a marketplace of people that want to play our game, and you don't want to go to the knife's edge because then you don't have enough people, and so you log in with your big badass rig, and there's nobody to play. So.
I think Jason will probably sneak one of those in at some point
Yeah.
and take a look
He
at
is
the
our
game.
VR guy.
He's
He
like,
is our VR guy.
I need to get some of those.
But we got Oculus, Vive. There's a bunch of others out there, and and they jockey for they're trying to win that war, and so
But this is a mobile device, so it's going to be
I
a
know.
lot less powerful.
yeah, much less.
So,
Maybe we could do a device later on that allows you to do something. It'd be kind of cool to see your drone bay through that and maybe outfit your ship, or you know, I don't know. We'll see something like that. From Krull, will there be online contests such as hit X number of enemies with a bomb this weekend to earn X bonus script, or mine X bucket loads of minerals to earn Mr. Drillsy's ship decal?
Mr. Drillsy's ship decal, huh?
I love that. Of course, we're gonna have contests.
Yeah, we'll do. Well, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, and those kind of things though are a ways away. I mean, those are those things that will happen. You know, we've got to get the core game done first, and then we've got to, you know, we get the core game done, all the ships done, everything in there, all the game types, working, playing, in your hands, new maps added, and then we'll start. Then we'll start doing like wings, noses, tails, paint jobs, and running those kind of stuff. So that's probably March of next year, right? Yeah. From DEF CON X. How are experiments in deformable maps coming along as opposed to just explodable cubes? Is it still part of Rob's secret game design, Necronomicon? Oh, of course.
Yeah. You know.
It's mostly explodey cubes, right?
It is still it is still exploding cubes right now, and it is still somewhere over the rainbow. We did some experimentation with voxel-based.
Looked like crap, to be honest.
It wasn't working real great.
Well, yeah, it didn't look very. It doesn't look as.
We're hoping that they bring in some voxel support sometime in Unreal, but who knows?
In the meantime,
it's going to be splody something more likely, and
explodey crystals, explodey cubes, explodey
stuff.
stalactites, explodey stalagmites, explodies, explodey pixelies. From Fluffball and Undergrounder, during the course of development, do you lose more time to straightforward bug hunting or design issues? Example: playtesting revealing concept as less fun than intended. What do you think? I have my thoughts.
There, you can go down some dead ends. I mean, when you hit something, you're just like, wow, that did not work at all the way we hoped. But yeah, generally, it's the random bugs and the random glitchiness that sets everyone back, or changing versions of the Unreal Engine.
4.9.
And everyone suddenly stalling
We're on 4.9 now.
Yeah, we are on 4.9 now, but
you're right. I think it's bugs
hiccups.
too. I think and honestly, so far, and I'm knock on wood here, knock on woody there. Anyway, it's like you got to get one of those jokes in there at some point, right?
Oh.
So I've found that so far we've been very lucky in the sense that we haven't had a lot of stuff that was not fun. In fact, I would argue that it's been more fun than we thought it was going to be this early.
It is.
And so that's been pretty cool to us, and it's helped us go, maybe we should go to early access, so because people want to play. From Lady Silver, will there be a mass driver type weapon in Descent Underground? It could possibly even be used as one of the Augur's mining tools to blast through rock.
Maybe.
That's a maybe. We're back. We're back on Star Citizen. Maybe.
Well, that's not on the
planned
current
yet.
list,
Right,
but
right,
that
right.
doesn't mean that. I mean, we'll extend the offerings over time.
And again, that's what Proving Grounds is for. We want to eventually, we're going to get the map pieces out in your hands. We're going to get the mod toolkits out there. We're working with Epic right now to kind of do Ark Survival has a similar thing where they're letting the people mod as they go, and we want to do the same. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to figure out how that works with Epic and my friend Joe Kreiner out there. And we want to let you guys have a map that create your own maps, create your own stuff. And then if it's good enough, or you think it's good, it's ready to submit, you submit it to us. We run it through other Proving Grounds members. And if it's good enough, it'll make it in the game. So maybe that's something you put in there yourself, Lady Silver. From Mangomon. Will Descent Underground have a kick-ass opening cinematic like D2, D3 that plays when you first start up the game?
With a single player campaign, or just overall?
Probably when you first start the game. It was like a story setting thing. I mean, those were all pre-rendered too.
Yeah, that's one of those things that we can live without for now, and is time-consuming and
it won't be
expensive
pre-rendered
to
anyway.
build.
We would do it in engine.
Yeah, we do it in engine.
We do it in engine.
It's one of those things that when we have the opportunity to do so, we'd love to do, but right now, not a focus, certainly.
Right. Well, not a focus, but it says, will it have a kick-ass opening cinematic? The answer is, we want to.
Yeah. Someday.
Yeah, we'd love to. So, and we'd love kick-ass cinematics.
We do.
But we want to get core first. Focus on the core. That is the end of forum feedback. And now here's Keith McCormick with this week's Build the Bot update.
Keith Dunkles McCormick here for Descent Underground's Build a Bot Challenge, where you have a chance to create a bot that goes in the game. We started Build a Bot way back at the beginning of the summer, and time has just flown by. We went to our amazing community and said, hey guys, what kind of bot do you want to see in the game? What's it like? What does it do? What's it look like? And you came up with all of these great, amazing ideas. And then, we took some of those and we moved on to the next round. And then we said, can you flesh it out? Can we get a 3D model? Can we get some backstory and name it? And you guys did. I mean, you guys rock. And most recently, we took that 3D model and we asked our community to put a skin on it, a texture, to breathe life into the bot. And we had these just wonderful submissions. It was extremely difficult for us to make a decision. We actually had to bring in reinforcements to break the tie. But in the end, I have to say congratulations, Luicarm. You've skinned the bot. And now it's time for us to move on to the final stage, advertising. That's right, even though the bot in the game is like a boss monster that you fight, in the world of Descent Underground, it was originally a product. The Sindar Corporation, a wholly owned subsidiary of Kayano, created Incendius to sell to other companies that wanted to melt ore, harvest salvage from wrecks, and of course wanted to protect those resources from other corporations. And so we need you to come up with an advertisement for the Incendius bot. It could be a billboard, it could be a display ad, maybe it's a sales flyer like you would see in a showroom. It could even be a whole commercial. That would be cool. So go to this link right down here at the bottom of the page, get all the details, but be sure to put your entry in by September 14th, because just like the first leaves of autumn, my friend, the AMD 290X video card, is getting ready to blow away into the hands of our winner. And that winner could be you.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Congratulations to Carme. Thanks for the bot skin. This was actually really close.
There was a lot of discussion in the office. What we decided that one was the most purpose-built, was suited to its original purpose best, and that's why it turned out.
We had a team vote, and
Yeah.
Pixley broke the tie.
And he's like the feature of the show
Pixley broke the tie.
today.
He is. It's an all Pixley in the Wild show. So he's the one he broke the tie for us, and that's so congratulations. And now we're on to the writing advertisement and pitch the game. Pitch it how it fits in the game. So good luck with that.
Final phase.
The final countdown. Where were we?
I have no
Okay.
idea. In
Coming
the
up-
wild. In the
Coming up
wild
in the
somewhere.
Coming up to Descendent Studios. CGBot is now dressing up some of our maps. Tinker Toy parts for the modders. They're going a different direction. We'll have 3 maps and they'll all look very distinct, which is going to be really cool because we want to have lots and lots of maps, all distinct looks. I mean, we want to take this in all kinds of ways. T-shirt contest is underway. Take a look at Matt Fossa as he sports his T-shirt. He just got it in. There's Matt. And for those of you who don't know, Matt's done the music for us on Wingman's Hangar. He's done the credits music. So looking good there, Matt. Love that guy.
Nice shirt, man.
Yeah, matches you. And his had fewer wrinkles.
Hey, and the last set of shirts are going out. Keith got the mailers
This
in
week, I
today,
think,
so
yeah.
they're going out. We're getting
Yeah, we
there.
found like we shipped out like 100, and we found like 30 or 40 more that had somehow been missed in the system. That not missed, but they hadn't been the tags hadn't been printed.
Yes.
So he's got about half of those done. So he got about 20 more to ship. I think those are going out this week or so. So Underground live stream is next Wednesday, which we hinted out earlier. We'll be streaming that next Wednesday. We're actually streaming, if you missed it, we streamed this last Wednesday, which is fun. People got to check out what went on in the office. And we haven't done it yet, but I'm assuming today's going to be fun as long as things don't break. Proving Grounds in a few more weeks, a couple. Hopefully a couple. Again, client-side prediction and launcher patchers in and working, but simple matchmaking. And that means you would go into and go quick match, and it would say, okay, here's a match with 8 players, go play. And so that's coming, and then that's the next step between, then you go alpha, beta, and then to early access. So that's kind of the show this week. And
Hello. I think we keep missing one particular line item.
Yeah, there is one thing that does seem to kind of get just glossed over each week.
it's in there. Well, whatever could that be? Wingman's weight. Yeah, 241. And now I'm at 240. I lost a pound. Yeah, I'm not really doing all that well in this thing. I need to start exercising.
He's not even trying.
I am too.
We need Bill Walton here to comment on that.
No, we don't need Bill Walton to comment. That guy's over the top.
He's not even trying.
Well, we want to thanks to our underground members and pledgers. Without you backers, without you guys, we wouldn't be here doing this, and we wouldn't all be having this epic, fun adventure of making Descent and bringing it out of the sock drawer
And we wouldn't have
into the
Pixel.
2000s. We wouldn't have Pixel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitch channels, so you get the absolute latest update before anybody else, like Rob Irving's Design Underground when it's live.
Sometimes featuring Tyler Pixley.
And Rob Irving, starring Rob Irving, and Pixley makes an appearance. Submit your forum feedback and questions on our forums so that each week we can answer questions you want to know. Mike's about to start doing the interviews in the next week or two with you people, so
Woohoo.
we'll have a thread up about that today. And get your time schedule, get stuff set it out, and then we'll be featuring you guys. Meta, what are we going to call it, Mike? Meta what?
Meet a backer.
Meta backer?
I'm not sure. That's just
Something like that. We'll come up
Something
with a
out
cool name, but
We'll think of something.
Yeah, we've got to get those people on. There's about 200-300 people we got to get there, and we will see you all underground.
No hay señales de vida, general. Los sensores están puestos. Se enterará si surge algo.
Con tantos meteoritos en este sistema, será difícil descubrir las naves que se aproximan.
General, tengo que irme. No puedo quedarme. Si no le pago a Jabba el Hutt, estoy muerto. Hay un precio sobre mi cabeza.
No es fácil vivir con una sentencia de muerte. Es un buen guerrero. Odio perderlo.
Gracias, general. Diga, Real Alteza.
Creí que habías decidido quedarte.
Probablemente no.
Exactamente, ¿qué deberías saber?
Vamos, tú quieres que me quede por lo que sientes por mí.
Sí, nos ayudas, eres un líder natural.
No, eso no es. Habla. Habla.
Estás imaginando cosas.
¿De veras? ¿Y por qué estás siguiéndome? ¿Temes que no te dé un beso de despedida?
Antes besaría a un Wookiee.
Eso se puede arreglar. ¡Necesitas un buen beso! ¿Cómo te sientes, muchacho? A mí no me pareces tan mal. Creo que hasta podrías enfrentarte a un Gandalf. Bueno, su veneración se las arregló para retenerme aquí un poco más.
¿De dónde sacas tus alucinaciones, cerebro frito?
Sigue burlándote, bola peluda. Pero tú no nos viste solos en el pasillo sur. Allí expresó sus sentimientos por mí.
¿Qué? Eres un presumido, ignorante, vil, andrajoso, vanidoso. Creo que aún no sabes todo sobre las mujeres.
Debí tocarle un punto débil para enfurecerlas.